Alright guys, burnout with self-improvement. It's a very real thing, it's not talked about a lot, so let's get into it. You want to make more money, you want to hit the gym more, you want to read more books, whatever. That's all fine and dandy. However, if you're going to try and go from 0 to 100 in a rather short time span, chances are that rocket ship will not make a complete takeoff from the Earth and into space. Let's put it into perspective real quick. Let's say you work about 40 hours a week, but you can pick up some overtime and work an extra shift, so you work 48 hours a week now. That's good. Now let's also say you want to hit the gym. This is also good, but now you're working a lot and managing your gym time. This is good and it's manageable, but let's also say that you're overweight, so you want to lose weight. You start going into a caloric deficit. This is also good and also manageable on top of your other tasks like working more and hitting the gym more. Now let's say you also want to read more books. This is also good because it is a knowledge transfer. Let's also say on top of this, you want to work on your social skills. This is also good. However, can you see how much this adds up into bigger and bigger tasks to manage? You're going from 0 to 10% effort, and then from 10 to 20, and then from 20 to 30, all the way up to 50. This can be managed, however, you don't want to go too far ahead of yourself and start adding too many tasks that become unmanageable. And before you know it, you have regressed back to your starting point of 0 because you have simply too much on your plate. Time management is everything. And sure, you can handle all these tasks with discipline and cunning and planned execution. However, the point here is to try and not give yourself unrealistic expectations. This is a marathon, not a sprint. What do I mean by this? What I'm trying to convey here is that you can have high ambitions and maintain a schedule, and that's all fine and dandy. However, do not try and give yourself too much to manage. A big bad wolf in disguise is social media influencers who are young and very successful. Try not to compare yourself to them or to other people in general. They do not put on Instagram the many failed attempts at whatever they're trying to do, or the sleepless nights, or the stress buildup. You only see a glorified version of this. Do not compare yourself to someone else's success story because we all have different lives. Jimmy Talks lives a different life than you, the viewer, and what may come easy to me may be hard to you, and vice versa. What matters the most though is consistency, even if it's small baby steps. For example, if you've never gone to the gym before, try to go at least 1 to 2 days a week. If you go 5 or 6 days in a row right off the bat, you're going to burn yourself out probably, and this isn't enough time for recovery anyways. Physical fitness recovery is the same as mental recovery. Give yourself a break so often. This doesn't mean take breaks and laziness too far. However, going from 0 to 100 is almost certainly a surefire way to go into failure. I would much rather you go to the gym consistently for 1 day a week for 5 months straight than go 5 days a week for 5 months, and sometimes you go 3 or 4 days because it's just too much and your schedule starts getting broken up and it's erratic, and sometimes breaks and pauses are longer and shorter than they should be. The same thing comes with investing. Time in the market beats trying to time the market. Set goals for yourselves, guys, but make consistency a key aspect of this. A baby making baby steps but not falling down is going to win in a race versus a baby trying to sprint that can barely walk in the first place. That's all for now, guys. Stay consistent, continuously push yourself, but be cautious about going incredibly hard right off the bat so you can avoid burnout. That's all from me. Jimmy Talks out, and remember, stay true to yourself.